Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk money. Let's talk the 100K, right? The thing that we've been hearing for such a long amount of time. And to the point we've been hearing that even that is not enough. Let's keep it black, right? So 8% of men in America make over 100K. Eight. Line up 100 men, eight of those will make that. That's the number we're looking at. We get so pulled into what we see online that we think it's normal. We think it's normal that yeah, every other person makes that. Most men make that. So when we hear that as a tool to weed out potential, partners, we're not being honest and seeing how many people are absolutely just cut off from that number. And this is without dividing into what state. We're not saying 100K in Kansas versus 100K in New York. No, we're just saying across the board, 8%. That's not saying of marriageable men, um, gay men, straight men. That's just 8%. Before you divvy anything up, not even including with age, that's just 8%. So think about that. Let's get into this video. But before, like, comment, subscribe.
So listen, so like for me, right? It's always been very funny and like very interesting to hear like a group of particular women who have like for the most part never really accomplished anything in their life say stuff like, "Oh, I'm not dating a guy unless he makes $100,000 a year. I'm not dating a guy unless he makes such and such or whatever." And it's like it's very ironic because like for the most part like me and my friends like or even the women in my friend group or girls that I know or girls that I've talked to, no one talks like that. You know what I mean? Like
I say that all the time. If the level of discourse around you is this, and you feel like you shouldn't be a part of that, you feel like you're better than that, then you're in the wrong circle. You're in the wrong space. You're in the wrong friend group, and you need to separate and elevate. Right? I'm a big fan of that. We're in the same boat. My friends, we don't have these conversations. We don't have conversations about making 100,000. We don't entertain women around us talking about these conversations. And when we do, we know we found ourselves in the wrong spot, and it's incumbent upon us to leave. I'm not going to be able to change enough people's mind in a bar at going out to eat in a little group setting that why are we talking about this, or the futility in trying to seek someone out that is part of that smaller 8% demographic, and then probably pared down optimistically to 4%. Then we never want to ask the joining question of the people that make that, of that 4%, say 4% is eligible. I'll give you five. There's 5% of the men that make 100K or above are eligible to date. Why would they choose you when you all have this very narrowing filter? Why? What about you makes you worthy of that, of this higher tier? And you can't ask women that without, what do you bring to the table without getting those prepackaged responses. Let's continue.
no one who actually has their shit together and they have great jobs, have great careers, or doing above average in life. Like you just don't hear words like that come out of their mouth. So it's very ironic to hear people who have accomplished the bare minimum say stuff like that or talk like that. Like it's kind of corny in a way.
So I completely agree. The problem is social media. You don't have to prove receipts. Everyone online $100,000, makes more. Everyone here has 3 or 4 businesses, 6. Why not? Right? They can sell you the course, they can sell you the package, they will tell you a life that they don't need, and they'll kind of shame you for not doing this almost incredible thing. We're all super talented and incredible online because I don't have to show you receipts. The people that know me aren't leaping to say that's not true. That's not true. He doesn't do that. There's always later on some expose. Oh, the Liver King was actually juicing the entire time. Yeah, how many people around him probably knew that, but they don't come forward. They don't come forward and say it. So you get to say whatever you want. You get to make whatever demands you want. The only thing that we can do, we can look at your lived life and experience and say, the way you're talking of the demands you're making, does your life show those results? From the people on here talking about, I need a man that does this, 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 and that, why don't you have that around you? Better question, a deeper question. And this is for the ladies, if they're out here paying attention. If you find a man that meets these high tier requirements, why then do you treat him like the $50,000 dude? Right? And it's not just about the money. You find a guy that meets your exacting requirements, and you know he meets another woman's exacting requirements as well. Why do you now give him the same game you give that regular guy that, you know, you found kind of fetching? You gave him your number. Why don't you switch out to the premium package game? Why don't you give him the full court press? You treat him the same way because this is all you've known. And you really don't live that type of lifestyle of saying, I want this, I want that. Let's go one layer deeper. Why do you want that? Why do you want these things? Because if you're not living $100,000 based income, and let's say you're being responsible, you're not overextending your credit, you're living within your means. You've got a good financial head on your shoulders. You don't have a taste for that lifestyle, but you want it because you've been told to want it. But now I've told you to want this thing, to strive for this thing that is increasingly rare. 4 to 5% of men, of available men that can actually do this for you, Black available men that can do this for you. So now you may not like the idea of chasing a man. You may not like the idea of competing, but that's exactly what you're going to have to do right then and there. Just, it's a numbers game. It's an unfeeling thing. You're going to, and compete in whatever way matters to that person. You're going to have to show why you are an asset, why you are worth when has the attention of 100 women that have the same exacting requirements that he has lucked out or he has worked hard to meet. I say lucked out because sometimes you win the genetic lottery. You're tall. You have the good facial structure. You still have your hair, whatever. You've lucked out and you've worked hard, and that's culminated into you becoming a winning pick, right? We're not going to say the prize because we know how people start feeling about that when men say they're the prize. That's another video. But he has his pick, right? It's one of these game shows, but it's really reality based. You're all on an island and there's 10 guys and they all meet your requirements. 90 of you are going to go home. 90 of you are going to go home, right? 100 and 100. 90, like it's 10 men, it's 100 women. 90 of you are going to go home alone. Are you going to sit there and just think that he should now chase you? Because that's really what the economics of it actually look like. In reality, that's the truth of it. So when you have more and more layers of things that person has to meet, and by some miraculous, moving of the stars and the planets and everything aligns, he meets that. You still won't compete. You still won't show that, hey, I'm a better choice than anyone else. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And if you're that or you're on your way, let's get together. Let's talk. I'll see you guys in the next one.